Today, we're taking you on a full ship tour of the brand new Sun Princess, a new type of ship from Princess Cruises. Is this ship taking the cruise line in a brand new direction? Find out as we go deck by deck and show you everything on board. Okay, David, let's get this ship tour started. We're going to be giving you all of our tips, hints, and our brutally honest opinion of the ship. So we're going to start right at the top of the ship here on deck 17. This is called the Dome. And doesn't it look beautiful? It's a glass dome. As well as a pool that goes from the inside to outside.
So you might not be able to see the pool right now as it is set up as a stage, but that stage does move out the way to reveal the pool underneath. It's a bit smaller in real life than we imagined, but it is a lovely space, especially during the day, and especially if you're on a slightly colder cruise.
Yeah, it really is a stunning venue. The only thing that lets it down is that it is a little small. It holds around 300 people, so when they are showing the dome shows in here, prepared to fight for a ticket. Anyway, just look at these beautiful fountains. They are just absolutely stunning. We were really taken aback by this space because it is really beautiful, and we haven't seen anything like it really on any ship, let alone a Princess Cruises ship.
And this is a little preview of some of the shows that you'll see in the Dome. We got to experience this on our recent cruise, and this was called Art Beat.
Yeah, it's a lovely way to spend the day, even if it's cold outside or too hot. It's all temperature controlled in here as well, so it's always very, very comfortable.
And that waterfall cascades down to the Cascades Bar, which is located within the Dome. A lovely little bar that's sort of tucked away.
Now let's take a look outside of the Dome. At the very front of the ship, you've got the Seaview Terrace area. Now, we didn't know this existed on this ship till we had a little walk around. And isn't it beautiful? It's kind of like a solarium. Just coming up on the right-hand side is the pool, which will take you into the Dome as well, so you can swim in and out of the Dome, which is pretty cool. Lots of sun lounges here as well, which is really nice. Those lovely windows on top stop the wind from hitting you too hard, but it really is a nice, relaxing space. It really reminds us of something on maybe the Royal Caribbean Oasis class ships.
Yeah, it really does. It's a nice addition to the ship that we really, really like. And if you want to see what these other ships are like, don't forget check out some of our other videos. And if you're new here, hello, we're Cruise with Ben and David. We cruise all the different cruise ships, showing you ship tours and vlogs. Make sure you do subscribe to see more from all the different cruise lines.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's quite a big space all across the front of the ship with lots and lots of comfortable seating and little areas just to chill out by. What's great as well is that it's all accessible friendly for people in wheelchairs and for people who can't walk very far. You'll find lots of ramps, and there's even a lift into the pool as well, which is great. On this deck you'll find 2 hot tubs, which is really nice as well. We filmed our ship tour in the port of Palma on the island of Menorca in Spain. And isn't this weather just absolutely stunning? Of course, there's the Seaview Bar as well for all of your drinks.
Okay, so moving along, we're going to head now towards the main pool area. You can see there's some more sun lounges coming up here. And before we hit there, we're going to get to see some of the food offerings on board the Sun Princess.
Yeah, we were surprised by the amount of food offerings on board compared to other Princess cruise ships, so we were very pleased in that respect. As you can see, there's a variety of seating from sun lounges to comfy seating chairs and things like that, which is really nice. You've got those signature blue windows as well on Princess Cruises. That's why everything looks a little bit blue.
I'm blue dabba-dee dabba-da. I'm not really a fan of the blue windows, but they are very princess.
Now, coming up on the left-hand side, you've got the Lido Slice. Now, this is the place to come and get some pizza, and doesn't it look really good? We can attest because we've tried, and it is very good indeed. You've also got the Lido Tacos, where you can make some lovely tacos with the fresh meat there as well, and lots of salad options as well.
They also serve delicious shawarma here as well, which is very tasty.
Yeah, then you've got the Lido Greens, where you can make up your own salad, which is very good as well. There's also a grill as well, serving things like hot dogs and things like that, as well as a bar and a help yourself fancy machine which serves things like juices. But this is the main Lido pool area, and it is really lovely, and it definitely is Princess. It's quite familiar. There's 2 large pools, and of course the big screen as well, showing things like movies under the stars on an evening, as well as entertainment during the day. But both of these pools are quite large, and there's lots and lots of sun lounges and comfy seating all the way around.
You've also got even more hot tubs, so there is 2 around this pool area, which is nice to see because we do love our hot tubs.
Yeah, and they're really huge hot tubs as well, which was nice to see as well. There's complimentary towels and things like life jackets for the kids if they're not able to swim strongly. And then you've got the coffee and cones, where you can obviously grab coffee and some ice cream creations as well. Check out our upcoming vlogs where we try out all of the food on board.
And there's also the Mix, which is the cocktail bar, which is the poolside bar.
Now, one deck up on deck 18, the deck above the Lido deck, you'll find lots more lounging opportunities with shaded and sunny areas. There's quite a lot of sun lounges here, so we can't imagine it ever being a problem. Well, unless you sail in the UK, where the British people are obsessed with saving sun lounges, but we didn't see anything like that on our cruise. It was mainly Americans, about 70% people from the North America, Canada as well as people from the UK, a few from Central Europe, and quite a few from Australia too, and New Zealand, which was nice to see. Again, more hot tubs up here, and endless amounts of seating, and some lovely views of the big screen there if you like to watch movies.
If you do enjoy the movies under the stars, don't forget to go and grab yourself some popcorn. So they actually do serve complimentary popcorn on an evening, and they'll bring out some comfy sun loungers and blankets as well. It's all very cosy and lovely.
It really is. It's one of our favourite things to do whilst on a cruise. You'll also find plenty of bars up here as well. There's the Sun Bar as well, offering all of your favourite drinks with some great seating areas, including several areas for smoking, and you can just chill out in the sun and watch the world go by. Now, something brand new is Park 19. Now, unfortunately, on our cruise, I think it's about the 3rd or 4th cruise, this area still isn't open, which is unfortunate. But you'll find sort of jungle gym areas for the kids, as well as 2 slides on either side, so 2 dry slides. This is a brand new concept for Princess, and we can really see them trying to aim at families now more than they did before.
Yeah, absolutely. Throughout the ship, you'll see lots of activities aimed at families of all different ages, and there's lots of features like this. It is just a shame that it wasn't open during our cruise.
Yeah, it really was, but hopefully it will be open soon, as we did see them testing the area. Anyway, you'll find a 2-story ropes course. Yes, that looks absolutely bloomin' terrifying. Now, this is going to be complimentary. There's also a kind of roller glider thing on the outside as well. Now, we don't know much details about this, whether or not it's going to be included in the price of your cruise, but this definitely is, and it looks quite terrifying and very high up. Again, lots of lovely seating areas, including lovely comfy chairs and even hammocks, which is really nice. But this is definitely a departure for Princess Cruises. Something brand new.
Now we're heading into the fitness studio. This is the gym on board and it is complimentary. It has your usual standard variety of machines and it's a really good size actually for a gym. And it also has weights there as well.
Yeah, and because it's on deck 18, you get some wonderful panoramic views for when you're working out as well. If you choose to do silly things like that on your vacation, guys, go on, have that extra piece of cake. You can exercise when you get home. Just kidding.
And I exercise my right to skip the gym and have some cake.
Yeah, but just a top tip, this area is very busy in the mornings as well as the late afternoons as well. So if you want to go at a quieter time, go mid-morning, lunchtime. There's also a photo studio up here as well where you can get some professional portraits taken as well. Now, separate from the spa, which is located many decks below, you'll find the Lotus Salon area. So here you can come and get your haircut and things like that. That's all in this area. And what we do really appreciate is all of the windows. It's something you're going to see on this cruise ship. You know how much we love windows. And this place, this ship particularly, has lots of those, which we're very, very pleased to say. Now we're just back down one deck on deck 17 again, just walking towards the back or the aft of the ship, and you can see more sun lounges. It really is a lovely ship, guys. We have to say it's a very similar design ship to, say, the P&O Arvia and Iona, or if you've been on the Carnival, Mardi Gras, Jubilee or Celebration, it's kind of very similar. Anyway, we're going to take you into a brand new area. This is called the Sanctuary. Now, this is a pay area, so you do have to pay to get in here. At the time of filming, it's $99 per person to get in here on a sea day, and it really is lovely. It's definitely a new thing for Princess. You'll find the Sanctuary on their older ships, but what you won't find is a lovely big pool in an area which is as expansive as this. It feels like a very plush, very upscale suite-only area. And in fact, the suites do get to go to this area complimentary as well. So if you're staying in a signature suite, you do get access to here as well. And it's lovely. Lots of different seating, comfortable areas, and lots included too.
Yes, so included are your lunch items. So they do have a lunch menu which had bento boxes and other snacks that were rather lovely. There's also a cocktail menu that is exclusive to this area as well.
So this is the very back of the ship. So the Sanctuary is actually normally located at the front of the ship on other Princess Cruises ships, but this one's at the back. And as you can see, you get some really wonderful views across the back. You also get access to things like these lovely little juices and table service as well. The service in here is absolutely spectacular. We got to spend a day here. Have a look at our vlogs which are coming up, but it was really wonderful.
So this Sanctuary is much larger than the ones that we've seen on other cruises. But like Ben said, you do get a nice large pool and lots of hot tubs as well.
You'll also find a bar as well, which is in the actual Sanctuary as well, so you don't have to go very far. But like I said, it is all table service, so the lovely crew will come up and ask what you want to drink and eat, which is great.
You can also rent cabanas which are located around the Sanctuary, and what's nice about these ones is they face outwards, so you actually get some lovely sea views. Prices do vary depending on the cruise, and you'd need to check before you book.
Now, one cool feature at the back of the ship are the glass elevators which take you down from the Sanctuary all the way to this aft area pool, which is really cool. And this is the back of the ship. She does look very pretty indeed. You'll also find another lovely seating areas, some beds, as well as an infinity pool and 2 hot tubs. So we've came all the way down to deck 8 now. You'll find a bar here as well, which is great. So everything's really at your fingertips. Everything's super, super close. Now let's head inside now to deck 9, one deck up. And this is really unusual. You'll find the buffet is located on deck 9. Now this did really throw us before we got on board and once we were on board for the first few days, just because we're so used to the buffet being up high, sort of on the Lido deck, deck 16, deck 17. but it is a really, really spacious buffet. It is absolutely huge, lots of seating areas, and one thing that we really like is that all of the food is behind glass screens. So the crew serve you, which is great. It's so much more cleaner. So for the people who haven't washed their hands and are touching the tongs, this simply isn't going to happen. So it's going to be such a more cleaner, better experience. The food looked better, it looked cleaner, it wasn't messy, it was great. It's a really good thing that we'd like to see on other cruise lines.
Yeah, I really like that because it also feels like you're actually getting a proper meal as well, instead of just walking around and piling everything onto one plate. Now, the buffet is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It doesn't vary as much as we've seen on other buffets. It does have slight variations with the types of food, but it's mainly the same thing every single day.
Now, one thing that's unusual is that it's a kind of two-part buffet. So as you go further back, you enter what becomes specialty restaurants on an evening. So on one side, you've got the Butcher's Block. Then on the other side, you've got the Catch by Rudy, which is a seafood restaurant. Both of these are extra pay specialty restaurants. Again, what we're loving is seeing all of the sea views and all of the windows, which is really, really lovely. The ship did feel very bright, a lot more modern, but still comfortable at the same time. It had that princess feel.
And one thing to remember is that this buffet serves a later breakfast. So if you are lying in, you're a late starter, you can get breakfast up to 11:30 at this part of the buffet.
Now, as we said, we're not going to go into too much detail on this video, but the food was really excellent in the buffet. We're just going to show you several dishes that were on offer at lunchtime one day.
It was great to see as well, they also had a vegetarian station and they had gluten-free options that were available.
Now, the ship really is ticking a lot of boxes for us because all around this deck on deck 9, and especially the Eatery, which is the buffet on board, you'll have the Promenade dining deck. So this is an outdoor area with lots of seating. Now, if you look above at those black panels, they're actually heaters. So if it is a little bit chilly out here, you still get heated by that, which is really lovely. It means that you can eat al fresco whenever you want, which is so lovely. And this area really is quite expansive. There's lots of comfortable chairs, dining tables. It really is a lovely area just to come out and have a wander with or eat your food.
And also out here is even more buffet stations and a bar as well, which is great. But you can also have service at your table. If you do want a drink, there is crew wandering around that will take your drinks orders. So out here they were serving hot dogs, tacos, things like that.
We're just so glad that Princess made use of this space, because on the P&O ships, the Arvia as well as the Iona, it just wasn't as nice. They put more theming out here and we really, really do appreciate it, and we love spending time outdoors. And this just goes to show you how big the buffet is, because all of these chairs and tables are still outside of the buffet. It really is a huge space. We've seen on some recent ships that the buffets have been shrunk, which means that they get very, very busy, but it just isn't something we saw on our cruise, which is lovely. There was always plenty and plenty of seats, which we really do appreciate it. Because we normally say on boarding day not to go to the buffet just because it's so busy. But on this ship we did, and there was no problem whatsoever. We found a seat easily, and it was all very nice and relaxed. It wasn't chaotic, which it sometimes can be. Now back inside, let's take a look at the main Piazza area. This is the middle of the ship and definitely the heart of the ship. On the right hand side, you've got Alfredo's Pizzeria. Famous on Princess cruise ships. There has been some major changes because this is now a charged event. We'll go into more detail about that on our vlog, so make sure you watch. But we have to say, the pizza here is absolutely fabulous, and we do love this dining venue. There's also seating outside, but inside, plenty of windows again, which we love to see. You get to see sea views basically everywhere you are, which is just fabulous.
Yeah, it's very, very bright and wonderful, which is really nice because you can grab a table by the window and get some of those wonderful sea views that you can see here.
And talking about sea views, it's kind of like a dome shape on both sides, and these windows are just beautiful, offering amazing panoramic views all around, bringing in so much natural light and on different layers as well. It's just absolutely gorgeous and we love it.
Now we're going to move around to one of our favourite spots. It's the International Cafe, and it has a slightly new look than it did on the previous cruises, but it still serves the same food, the same delicious cakes, treats and snacks. And these are all complimentary, and one great thing about this venue is that it's open 24 hours a day.
Now, obviously, the drinks aren't complimentary. You either need to purchase them or be on a drinks package. But this is a lovely venue. Again, lots of windows and seating areas. It's just on a very different deck to it normally is on a Princess cruise. We have to say it did take some time getting used to the new layout just because it is unlike any other thing. During the day, you'll find lots of cakes and cookies. Oh my gosh, the cookies are amazing, as well as things like sandwiches and other cakes and warm treats. In the morning, you'll also find breakfasty type foods as well, which is really fabulous. Just by the International Cafe is another seating area with those absolutely beautiful windows on the other side again.
This is where you'll find the loyalty desk and the shore excursions desks as well.
You can also use your medallion to log in here and look at some of the places that you've been before, which is absolutely fantastic. It's like a half globe. So you can explore all of the different places you've visited on a Princess cruise ship, which we thought was really cool. But something that isn't quite as cool, guys, is that they've got a bloomin' glass deck up here as well. Every cruise ship has them. They are quite terrifying, so you can walk over a glass walkway and see a few decks below. Oh, I mean, it is terrifying, but pretty cool at the same time.
It actually took us a few days to even realise it was there because it kind of blended into the glass windows and we didn't see it. But it is a lovely view from those lovely windows just there.
Now, this is the Piazza, definitely a change for Princess Cruises because this is more of an entertainment venue rather than the relaxing space it used to be on other ships. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like this venue, but I really do miss the old Piazza, the Italian-style Piazza. It was very grand and lovely. This is just very different. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't have the same feel as the old ships, but it is great nevertheless. Going down to deck 8, we have the Princess Arena, which is actually on a few different decks. This is quite unusual. It's a circular theatre with different configurations, so it's quite a versatile space. Unfortunately, we only got to see one show on our cruise, which was really fantastic, a production show. The rest were just visiting acts. Princess have been quite slow to get the shows up and running, but hopefully they'll have a full schedule soon. On deck 8, you also have a large open casino. Now, because this is so open, with no glass doors or anything to the entrance, the smell from the smoke did carry a little bit, especially on deck 9. So our top tip would be to avoid any cabins on deck 9 or maybe even deck 10 because the smoke really did travel, which is unfortunate, and we didn't see any non-smoking area in the casino as well. It's 2024. Cruise lines really do need to start adapting for people who don't want to smoke.
Yeah, fingers crossed that they do retrofit some screen doors or glass doors on the entrance there. But it's actually the largest casino on any Princess cruise ship.
And it is really lovely. We loved all of the LED screens. It still does feel quite traditional, the ship in general, but it does feel modern at the same time, but not cold. A lot of the new cruise ships are very grey and boring and very cold, but not the Sun Princess. She still feels quite warm and familiar. Anyway, on the left-hand side, back into the main Piazza area, we have Kai Sushi.
This is an additional charge venue and, like the name suggests, it serves sushi throughout the day.
It is possible to use some of the Princess packages here as well, which we'll go into more detail in a future video.
Now we're going to take a stroll around the Piazza and we're going to come up to Crooners Bar, again with those lovely big bright windows. This is the martini bar on board, and it also has live music from a piano, and we also saw some violinists here as well.
Now, this is really an old school bar that you'll see on many Princess cruise ships, and the theming in here really is wonderful. We would have liked to have seen more of this theming around the ship because it was quite amazing. Just look how beautiful this venue is. It's very traditional, very cool. I just love it. Again, you can see those beautiful windows. I can't say enough how much we appreciate views like this, especially on a sea day or at sunset or sunrise. It truly does look spectacular. Here you can see some of the seating around the Piazza area. It's on all 3 decks of the Piazza. This is the middle deck, and there's lots of seating to watch the entertainment in here. At some point there'll be aerialist shows in here as well. We saw them rehearsing for it on our cruise, but again, it wasn't quite ready. A brand new venue here on Princess Cruises Sun Princess is Spellbound. Now, this is a 3-course dinner show. Then you get access to the bar, which has unlimited drinks, and the drinks in here are fabulous. And then you get a private magic show, which lasts about 30 minutes. The experience costs $149 per person. Now, we did get to try a little bit of the event, and it was very good. Whether or not it's worth the price is up to you, but it was a pretty special and pretty cool experience that we really did enjoy. More about this on an upcoming episode.
Next we have Umai Teppanyaki, which is an additional charge restaurant. Now, teppanyaki is new to Princess Cruises, although you do find it on many other cruise lines. It's always a great, fun experience where there's a dinner and a show, plus the food is very, very tasty as well.
Now, something quite unique to this, which we haven't seen on any other cruise ship, are the hot pot tables. We got to try this and it was so much fun. So you cook your own food in the middle of the table. We did have a really fun time in here and highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, back into the Piazza, you've got the ocean front. Now, this is the area where you come and deal with any problems with your medallion. We definitely recommend you download the Princess Cruises app. It's brand new. They've created a brand new app which is so much better than the old one. And you can do everything on here, from checking your bill to booking things like restaurants and shore excursions, checking in, and much, much more. Anyway, as you walk down the deck, you'll see lots and lots of shops. It's called the Shops of Princess, and there are quite a few of them.
Yes, lots of opportunities to shop. They're all very much the same stores that you do tend to see on most of the cruise lines, selling things like jewellery, beauty products and things like that.
Yeah, I'll have some jewels for my appetizer, please, David. Now, coming up on the right-hand side, we have Sabatini's Italian Trattoria. Did I pronounce that correctly? This is the extra pay specialty Italian restaurant on board, and we just love the theming in here. It is really, really beautiful. We can see that Princess have put in a lot of work on their theming, and it really is appreciated. The lovely marble floors, all of the lovely vivid colours and artwork. It is a very, very nice venue indeed.
And if you do choose to dine here, do make sure you pack your stretchy pants because this is a 5-course menu.
It really is. Obviously, you don't have to order all 5 courses. We did, and it was really nice. We did have a lovely meal here, and we did enjoy the ambience of the restaurant. It was very lovely indeed. Again, if you want to eat at any of the specialty restaurants, we do recommend booking them before you get on the cruise ships because often on busy cruises they do sell out, so don't be disappointed. Now we're still on deck 8 and we're heading towards the very, very back of the ship, or the aft, and here you'll find the 3-storey Horizons dining room. Now this is located on decks 6, 7 and 8, and it's the main dining rooms on board. And they are quite grand. As we enter the top level, you'll see they are quite beautiful. And we just love all of the windows again. You've got windows down the side. You've got windows all across the back. It really is great. It's a lovely, spacious area with lots of seating. Now, depending on what type of meal plan you're on, depends on where you'll be eating, because they do have either the flexible time dining or they have the traditional time dining where your dining times are set. We still recommend making bookings because if you do have a reservation, even on the flexible time dining, you'll get in quicker.
So the top level of this dining room, deck number 8, actually served a different menu. It served an American menu.
Yeah, on an evening and an afternoon, it had an American-style restaurant, which was really cool, serving things like chicken and... I'm trying to think of American foods, but I can't.
Chicken, waffles, ribs, things like that. So it was open for brunch on sea days and on an evening.
And at the very back, you have these open panoramic windows, which are really, really beautiful. My top tip would be to try and get a table at the back here because it is just stunning and you see some amazing wake views as you travel along on your cruise.
Do make sure you check out our upcoming vlogs where we'll take you for a meal in the main dining room. But overall, we've always enjoyed the food in the main dining room on Princess Cruises.
So we've come down to deck 7 now and we're heading forward from the Horizons main dining room, and we're just going to come through to a lovely little seating area that will lead us to the Wheelhouse bar. Now this bar is quite open. We saw a few people complaining that there was a lot of thoroughfare from the dining rooms. We didn't really have a problem with this. Again, everywhere you go there's windows, which we just absolutely love. None of these venues are really sort of in interior spaces, which is so lovely to see. On the left-hand side, you've got the reserve restaurant. So if you're staying in a reserve type cabin on board, this is your private restaurant where you will eat, which is very lovely as well. Again, windows everywhere. I am a very happy man right now.
So we stayed in a standard balcony cabin. We didn't have the opportunity to eat in this restaurant, so we will reserve judgment.
Oh, very funny. Again, as we come out of the Reserve Collection restaurant, you'll see the Wheelhouse bar again.
As you mentioned earlier, it is very open. It doesn't have the nautical warm feel that the other cruise ships had, where it felt more like a proper little pub.
On this deck, you'll also find more shops of Princess as well on both sides. So like David said, plenty of shopping opportunities. So if you do like to shop till you drop when you're on a cruise, I don't think you're going to be disappointed here on the Sun Princess. Now, our ship was quite full on our cruise and we didn't find it very busy at all. It was quite easy to get into everywhere apart from shows in the Dome, which was very difficult because it's quite a small venue. But all of the other venues seemed quite adequate from what we saw. Even when it was quite busy, there was still plenty of room to sit down and relax, which was really great to see. On some new ships that we visited recently, there's been lots of venues which are tiny, with ships that hold almost double what some Princess does. She holds around 4,500 people when she's at the maximum, so she isn't the biggest ship when you think about it. Anyway, we're going to go into the Piazza Central area again, and here you'll find coffee currents. So here you can get coffee and some snacks and things like that, which is really lovely. It's not as big as the International Cafe. The coffee obviously is extra pay, or unless you're on one of the packages. But there is a few snacks to pick from as well, which is great. Again, on the bottom level of the Piazza here, you have those big old windows.
Now we're going to come into the bottom level of the Piazza. So this really is more of an entertainment space, like Ben said earlier, and we do really miss that old Piazza feel. But it looks really nice when all the lights are on, and it is really lively on an evening. There were shows in here, there was dance classes, there was game shows and things like that. So it does have a lot more life.
It does, yeah. We thought that the Sun Princess was a lot more livelier than other Princess cruise ships. It was just something that we noticed. Anyway, just off the Piazza here on Deck 7, you have the signature restaurant. So you will eat in here if you're staying in one of the suites. Now, we did hear complaints from a few people saying that the signature areas, like the signature lounge, the signature restaurant, are all quite disconnected. So it really isn't a ship within a ship feel, as these venues are spread around the ship. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes you do feel trapped in the suite only area, and it is nice to see some of the rest of the ship. We just love these glass sculptures in the middle, though. It was very pretty indeed. Again, with windows in here, so another area that felt very bright.
Now we're coming up to Bellini's Cocktail Bar. This is a really popular bar on Princess cruises that serves the famous Bellini cocktail.
It does. It is a really nice bar. Again, it has that traditional kind of authentic feel, which is really nice as well. And again, those windows, guys. It's a great place to come for a drink before dinner. Watch the sunset. It is rather fabulous indeed. And I do love a cheeky Bellini, if I say so myself.
Overall, this area just generally feels very comfortable. That's the thing that we always thought about with this ship. Everywhere just felt very warm and comfortable.
So as we go towards the front of the ship, coming up on the left, we have a new venue. It's called O'Malley's Irish Pub. And this place is really nicely themed. We did really like it in here. They also serve food as well, which is an extra charge. It is included with the Princess packages. More details about that again in a future video. But you'd often find very much live music. It was a very lively atmosphere in here as well, full of life, with some lovely seating areas and a nice place to spend your evening after dinner.
This venue is secluded from the other venues, which means that there is no noise bleed, which is great. So it can be as lively as anything in here, but on the other venues, you're not going to be disturbed from the live music or the cheering that goes on in this bar, which is just so much fun.
Just opposite O'Malley's is a favourite, Princess Live. So in here you'll often find game shows, entertainment, karaoke, trivia. And what we do like about this is not only that it has windows, but it is quite a big space. So we never had a problem finding seats for trivia or anything like that. There's also a bar in here as well. It's just a nice space for some fun entertainment on Princess cruises.
And one thing we saw in here a lot as well was comedy acts, which we didn't see much on Princess before. We really did enjoy the addition to the entertainment there. And tucked away in this corridor is the gelato or gelateria. It's not as grand as it was on the old ships, but it still serves delicious gelato. It is an extra cost or included in some of the Princess packages.
You can also grab a lovely coffee here as well. Anyway, we're making our way towards the front of the ship, and on the left-hand side, we've got a Princess favourite, the Crown Grill. Now, this is a steakhouse on board, and it is an extra pace specialty restaurant. But again, it's a really lovely restaurant. We do love the theming in here. It doesn't feel very cold and modern. It feels warm and comfortable and a little bit traditional, which is really nice. We do love that they've kept the traditional vibe on Princess Cruises and haven't went over the top with all of the modern. Because she is a different ship, they're definitely aiming at a younger audience. We did see quite a few kids on our cruise and a lot of younger people as well. So Princess Cruises are definitely aiming at a younger audience here. Usually on Princess Cruises, you see a lot of people in their 60s, 70s and 80s. But I think with this ship, we're going to see a lot of younger people on here because she definitely matches some of the newer, younger ships with things like the play areas on top, the big pool areas, and the new style entertainment.
The Crown Grill is really popular, so do make sure that you book if you do want to dine there, as it often does sell out.
So just tucked before the arena theatre at the front of the ship, you have Good Spirits at Sea. And we absolutely love this venue on Princess Cruises. It's really cool. So during the day and the evening, it's a bar, but there is a few hourly shows where you'll get a bartender who sits at the front, shows you some videos, makes the cocktails that you want to drink. And it really is a great interactive show. We had many lovely drinks in here. It was a lovely space to be.
Yeah, and it's quite a small, intimate venue, which really does add to that atmosphere. But make sure you do look out for it, because it is tucked away, and we didn't even see it until day 3 or 4 of our cruise.
So just to say, on several of the passenger decks, you'll also find complimentary to use laundromats. At the moment, it was all free to use, including all of the detergents and irons. Sometimes there is a charge to use the machines, just a few coins. But at the moment, it was complimentary. Now, down to deck number 6. Here you'll find the Lotus Spa. So as you can see, quite a few decks apart from the Lotus Salon.
And also down here on deck 6 is guest services. Now this is unusual, and we do have to say we were not a fan of this location, as it did get very crowded and sometimes it was hard to find.
It was, but that's our full ship tour of the Sun Princess. Now do please let us know what you think of the ship in the comment section below. We really did enjoy it, guys. It definitely is in a new direction for Princess Cruises. They're going for more modern, more fun family activities and things like that. It certainly is a departure from some of the older ships, but we did really have a wonderful cruise. We're going to give you our full brutal review in just a few weeks on our channel, as well as lots of fun food, entertainment and much more. So do stay tuned for that.
And a big thank you as well to our patrons. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, in return for your support you receive extra benefits, such as behind the scenes videos, a monthly Zoom chat, and we also put our videos up early and completely advert free.
So that's it till next time. Happy cruising!